IdeaForge, one of the global leaders in UAV technology. They are the pioneers and preeminent market leaders in the Indian Unmanned Aircraft Systems UAS market. Their UAVs are equipped with industry-leading specifications and capabilities comparable to those of other established global players in the UAV industry. देवी और सज्जनों, एनएससी के इस शानदार एट्रियम में उपस्थित सभी का मैं मानसी तहे दिल से स्वागत करती हूँ. We will now welcome and greet the esteemed guests and distinguished dignitaries with bouquets of flowers, beginning with Shri Ankit Mehta, Chief Executive Officer, IdeaForge Technology Limited. A very warm welcome to you. Thank you. You may please take your seat. Shri Ashish Bhatt, Vice President, Research and Development, IdeaForge Technology Limited. Shri Rahul Singh, Vice President, Engineering, IdeaForge Technology Limited. Shri Vipul Joshi, Chief Finance Officer, IdeaForge Technology Limited. Shri Nicholas Brathwaite, Founder and Managing Partner, Celesta Capital. Shri Sriram Krishnan, Chief Business Development Officer, NSA. Welcome to you, sir. Shri Vasudev Jagannath, Head of Institutional Equities, IIFL Securities. And Shri Amit Ramchandani, Managing Director, Investment Banking, JM Financial Limited. और अब भारतीय परंपरा के अनुसार दीप प्रज्वलित कर इस आयोजन का उद्घाटन होगा. In keeping with the Indian tradition, the function will be inaugurated by lighting the auspicious ceremonial lamp. And to do the honors, I invite Shri Ankit Mehta, Chief Executive Officer, IdeaForge Technology Limited, Madam Rukmani Saha Mehta, Madam Neha Joshi, Madam Isha Wali, Madam Neha Chauhan. I welcome all the spouses of the founders for the lamp lighting, along with Srimati Varsha Tagre from Qualcomm Ventures and Srimati Sujata Vemuri from WFA Global Investments, along with Shri Sriram Krishnan, Chief Business Development Officer, NSA. Deepene lokan jayati, deepastejo maya smritaha, chaturvarga pradodipan, tasmat deepyajet priye. This couplet in Sanskrit translates, the lamp is luminous, its radiance grants victory, its light imparts dharma, artha, kama and moksha.
निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा
निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा
The lamp being lit, the function being inaugurated, I request all of you to kindly take your seats in the audience while I call upon Shri Vasudev Jagannath, Head of Institutional Equities, IIFL Securities, for the opening address.
To my friends and colleagues present here and joining virtually, a very good morning. I welcome you to the listing ceremony of IdeaForge. IdeaForge is the first UAV manufacturer to be listed in India. It is amazing that what began as a passion to win the ABU Robocon competition under the guidance of Professor Amarnath while at IIT Bombay has today become the largest drone manufacturer in India with over a 52% market share. This is a testimony not only to the passion of the founders Ankit, Rahul and Ashish, but also to what India and Indians are capable of in cutting-edge technology. Kudos to the IdeaForge team for not just creating a successful business, but more importantly for creating products and services which keep India's borders safe and our Jawans safer. We strongly believe that the drone industry is set to see a variety of use cases beyond defense and surveillance across multiple commercial segments, driving exponential growth over the next decade and beyond. IdeaForge, being the pioneer and a dominant market share, is best placed to capitalize on this large growth opportunity. This is something that has resonated extremely well with all the investors that the company met over the last 2 months, including top FIIs, DIIs, and domestic mutual funds. The oversubscription numbers for the IPO has broken quite a few records. The overall IPO was subscribed 106 times, with the highest HNI and retail participation of 80 plus times since the start of the 2022. The IPO mobilized 33,000 crores in subscriptions, which was a record of sorts. A fun fact, almost everyone on our team applied for the IPO and no one has come forward bragging of an allocation. I wonder how this lottery system works. On the institutional side, the anchor portion saw demand from 45 plus investors, with 8 of the top 10 mutual funds participating, a record in itself, and the main book was oversubscribed over 125 times. I wholeheartedly thank the founders of IdeaForge for giving us the opportunity to partner with them on their growth journey, of which the IPO is just the start. A special thanks to Flowering Tree Fund, led by Matthew Syriac. This is the third IPO for the fund. The first two, MTAR and Data Patterns, have given fantastic returns to shareholders, even those who bought post-listing. IdeaForge is set to follow suit, and we are proud to be partners in all his 3 IPOs. Matthew's track record of identifying such high-quality companies at an early stage is amazing, and the mentoring he provides the founders and the whipping to the bankers is legendary. On behalf of both JM and us, I would like to thank all the participants, including the registrars, the stock exchanges, and the legal counsels who have worked tirelessly to process the record applications to achieve this listing. I'd like to wish Ankit, Rahul, Ashish, Vipul, and their team all the very best for their journey going forward. And I'm confident that IdeaForge will continue to grow from strength to strength, delivering for all the stakeholders, including the investors who have joined the IdeaForge family today. Thank you.
Thank you, Sri Jagannath, for the initial remarks. I will now request Sri Nicholas Brathwaite, founder and managing partner, Celesta Capital, to address this august gathering.
Good morning, everyone. I have been looking forward to this day from the time we made our initial investment, and I thank you for this opportunity, guys. I'd like to start by saying, I'm from the West Indies, so I always like to say I am Indian from the West. So let me start by talking a little bit about that initial investment in IdeaForge and what went through it. Throughout 2013 and 2014, we spent a lot of time looking at drones. Back then in the United States, drones was a hot topic. And after looking at almost everybody, we spent time with all the big names at the time, DJI, Parrot, Skycatch, and many others. At the end of 2014, I made a decision that we will not invest in any drone company. And then in 2015, Ghani called me up and told me about this drone company called IdeaForge that we should look at. And I said, not interested. And he continued to insist, and Ankit came over around the middle of 2015, and we met and chatted, and I completely changed my mind about not investing in any drone company. What drew us to IdeaForge were a number of things. Number one, the recognition that India represented a different opportunity. The territorial boundary and terrain challenges in India were unique to those in many other places and would require a very different approach to solving the surveillance problems and other problems here in India. Make in India had become a big thing, and we believed that was not just rhetoric, but that was going to change the landscape, especially for deep tech type investments in India. But most importantly, we fell in love with the team. And many investors say things like, we invested because of the team. But the reasons for investing in a team are usually very different. Usually they mean they're investing in a team that has a proven track record, have done 5 startups before, 4 of which were successful. And so they're betting on the ability of the team to make this new investment successful. That's not what we had here. We had a team that had no proven track record, no experience in building or even managing a business, and we had a company that had no IP. So why did we invest in them? Because there were a lot of other things that people don't look at that we saw and we liked. We saw a team that had a commitment to each other. People talk about teams a lot. This is a team. They believe in each other. They like each other. Their commitment to each other was something I have never seen before. There were times, I can tell you, where we tried to get Ankit to make decisions on the spot. Decisions that we thought were no-brainers. And he would tell us, no, I have to go back and talk to my team and get back to you. The commitment to building a scalable business. This was not a bunch of guys that were trying to develop a drone. These were a team of people that were trying to develop a scalable business that will change the dynamics of the industry. They were willing to learn. They were smart, but they were willing to learn. They recognized that the things they lacked and wanted to improve. And sometimes people say that to you when they're trying to get you to invest. Everybody, when they're trying to get you to invest, say things like, I want you to invest because you bring so much value and I can learn from you. Most of it, that lasts only until you write the check. That was not the case with these guys. But most importantly, they had proven their technical competence. So while some investors may look at what they lacked, we looked at what they had and what they had proven. And we thought there was a lot to work with there. We were also fortunate to have a team of co-investors throughout the life cycle that were very different. Like the founders, the co-investors and the board worked very closely with each other and worked as a team. The investment started when we were called WRV, and we brought in InduSage. Now WRV and InduSage have merged and we call Celesta, but back then we were two different firms. We had Infosys, Qualcomm, and then Matthew and Flying Tree joined later on. And there were some other investors as well. The investors had shared values, shared objectives. There was no ego and no drama. In fact, in the early stages, the investors allowed Celesta to have 3 of the 5 board seats because they believe that we can add a lot of value at that stage of the investment and were willing to step aside and allow us to lead. And then when Matthew came on board, for that stage of the company, the rest of us were willing to step aside and allow Matthew to lead. I have never seen those types of dynamics in my career so far, but a lot of that I think were driven by the fact that the team itself had those kinds of dynamics and we were mirroring what the example that the management team, the founders set. So today, what have we accomplished so far? So from going with no IP, and by the way, when I had my first conversations with Ankit, he was trying to convince me that having no IP was okay because they had a lot of trade secrets. But today we now have 62 patent assets. These are patents pending and approved. 25 of them have been approved. We have some of the best performing drones ever seen in the industry with a roadmap that will keep us ahead of the competition for many years to come. We have a total of 550 employees, including 300 full-time employees and 250 contractors. And we have an Indian supply chain that is expanding. This company has not only built a company for themselves, but they've pulled the industry along. We now have a supply chain that is developing components based on the specification of this industry. We have a manufacturing supply capabilities that are improving as a result of the demands that this company is setting on the industry. One of the advantages of deep tech investing is that it's not just about the company, it's also about the ecosystem that the company builds and expands as the company grows. And IdeaForge is leading and demonstrating that capability. So what does the future look like? This is just the beginning. This is just a stepping stone on the way to further greatness. And I see a future where we expand beyond India. When we invested in this company, we didn't invest in this company just to be an Indian company. Of course, to be an Indian-based company, but this company always, we felt, had the opportunity to be bigger than just in India. The problems we are solving are not just problems that exist in India. The differentiation we have are differentiation that can compete globally. And so I see this company as continuing to grow, expanding beyond the current customer base in India, and then expanding beyond India to the rest of the world. We are happy and proud that you gave us the opportunity to partner with you. Oftentimes, investors take credit for a lot of the things that happen in a company, and I'm not saying we don't add value, but we are the supporting actors. You are the lead actors, and we thank you for allowing us to be part of your movie.
Thank you, sir, for putting the journey in a nutshell for all of us. I will now invite Sri Ram Krishnan, Chief Business Development Officer, NSE, to address the audience on this highly joyous and equally significant occasion.
A very good morning to each and every one of you here today. Sri Ankit Mehta, CEO and whole-time director. Sri Rahul Singh, Vice President Engineering and whole-time director. Sri Ashish Bhatt, Vice President Research and Development and whole-time director. And all the other distinguished dignitaries. A very warm welcome once again to each and every one of you to this listing ceremony. We at NSE are always very excited whenever there is a listing ceremony taking place in this atrium, because it's a very positive moment. And at the same time, it's not so often that we come across a company like IdeaForge that's a pioneer in its space and helped create an entire industry, vertical, and an ecosystem in India. I think the concept of a drone is something that was possibly not very well understood until some years back. And I think the movie Three Idiots was one main trigger for this entire revolution, perhaps, way back in 2008 or 2009. IdeaForge has made great strides and has now become a leading manufacturer of drones globally. It gives us immense pleasure to welcome IdeaForge to the NSE's family of listed companies. The IPO of IdeaForge, I'll take a minute to speak about that because it's a special one. Not only has it received overwhelming response among all categories of investors, but most importantly, the market has witnessed around 150 IPOs. I'm talking about the main board IPOs in the last 1.5 years. It's really, really thrilling to note that this is the first main board IPO to cross over 100 times subscription during this entire 1.5-year period. We sincerely hope that today's successful listing of IdeaForge will inspire many more emerging corporates, particularly in the defense space, to look at public markets as a promising alternative to raise money. The Make in India initiative has no doubt given great impetus to the defense sector. To track the performance of portfolio of stock that broadly represent this defense theme, we at NSE have set up an index called the Nifty India Defense Index. We are happy to share that this Nifty India Defense Index has given a stupendous return of 85% in the last 1 year. We are committed to facilitate fundraising opportunities for upcoming organizations to chart their own growth stories and to make capital markets more accessible. We hope that this listing day is the start of a great partnership going forward. I congratulate the entire team of IdeaForge. We welcome IdeaForge to the NSE family, and at the same time, we want to congratulate the entire team, including the merchant bankers, legal advisors, and all the supporting institutions for all the hard work. And today's listing is actually a testimony of all of the effort that's gone into this whole process. We are extremely happy to host all of you today as you embark on this new journey, and wish you all the very best for the times ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts with us this morning. I will now request Sri Ganapathy Subramaniam, Non-Executive Nominee Director, Partner, Celesta Capital, to please say a few words.
Good morning. So, my association with IdeaForge started even before Celesta invested. I think it's Kruti. I think you asked me, how did I invest in IdeaForge? So in 2014, I just completed my exit of my company Cosmic Circuit. I was in a very small cubicle, which is like 8 feet into 8 feet. And both Ankit and Rahul dropped in. And this is like 6 feet in height and probably 6 feet in width also at that time. And I didn't have an option. I just had to agree, and Nick was not there with me at that time. So I just didn't have an option except investing in Ankit and Rahul. And when I looked at Ashish, I thought, okay, fantastic, at least I have somebody similar. But I never knew that that's the most terror in the founding team. But jokes apart, if I look at why IdeaForge is, achieved this milestone today and recollect the journey, I want to list three things in the journey because I've been associated with this company for nearly 9 years now. And the first and foremost is a fantastic, diversified founding team. We have a stellar leader in Ankit, whom I consider is very selfless, as Nick pointed out, very organizational centric, very team centric. We are very fortunate to have Ankit as a CEO of IdeaForge. So I'm going to thank a lot of people, so good, keep clapping. So the next is the technical brains, right? I mean, Rahul was solid in mechanical engineering. We had Ashish solid in electronics. And drone, essentially you need good mechanical and good electronics. It's very fortunate that we had two stupendous talent in Rahul and Ashish. But that's not enough, right? We need a solid operations. We need a good finance team. We need the canteen to work and up and running. And we need the IT to up and running. Super thankful to have Vipul as part of the founding team. And the way in which I've seen Vipul and Amit have traveled this entire IPO process, and I'm just too proud of them. I've seen them for 9 years. Extremely fortunate to have these guys. That's not, the founding team was also liberal enough or broad enough to bring a lot of lateral talent. So at the right time, we were able to bring in sales Vishal and people like Naveen and Aditya Kimji to lead our international sales. Marketing, we had Kruti. We had operations by Amol Suryavanshi. And then finance, again, Amit. So the lot of stellar talent joined, and we were imbibed. And HR, Sachin and Nupur. We all were imbibed into the team, all were involved. Right? We saw as one team growing IdeaForge. So that's about team, and and as Nick said, it's all the team, and we're thankful to the team. Next is the seed and Series A investors. I just want to speak a minute on that. Again, super thankful to have Poini ma'am. I don't know where is she, the signed CEO, and I guarantee you, in this room, in the next 2 years, at least 2 companies will come from Sign Lab, which will go IPO, and it will be a deep tech IPO from here. So she's doing a great work. So super thankful for Poini ma'am. And then extraordinarily thankful to Qualcomm Ventures, Varsha, Sujata, and Infosys, Sandeep and Shyam, and IndusAge. I don't know, Shantanu has been a great contributor, Sudhir and Shantanu, to the IdeaForge. So thankful to all the Series A and seed investors. So just around, I think 2019, maybe 2020, we won our first $20 million order. I and Ankit were discussing that this is the time we need to bring somebody who is great in public market into the board. And we spent some time and saying that we should get this person. And I reached out to IIFL, I don't know whether they are here. And I really asked, I need to meet Matthew. Because I mean, as somebody spoke, Matthew had already taken MTAR to IPO and was a very successful, venture capitalist taking companies to public. So, and I think we met him probably October 2021. And within 2 meetings, we were able to conclude, and he invested in IdeaForge a few months later. And from then, as Nick rightly pointed out, drove the company and do the entire IPO process. So super thankful to have Matthew as a part of this. I think, Matthew, we are going to do several things together. It's not good. Just a start. It's a first start. And great to have you in the board. So finally, again, I speak for the founders. It's just a milestone for us. We believe that our journey is just started, right? We have a lot of things to achieve, and hopefully we will all do it with the team. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sri Subramaniam. And now I invite Sri Matthew Syriac, Executive Chairman of Florentine Advisors.
Good morning to you all. First of all, thank you for the privilege of having me speak here. I know we have talked about all the great people who have made this work, but I just want to touch upon one thing. When you think about entrepreneurship in India, you see 2 types of companies. You see the B2B export kind of based services, software type companies, and then you have a bunch of this consumer internet type companies. One, it is if you have the technical prowess, it's easy to break in. You win a good customer, you're cash flow positive, it's easy to build a business. Then you have the other business which kind of burns billions of dollars to eventually find your footing, right? So IdeaForge is a case where this is a true phase of entrepreneurship in India. You have a group of people, just passion, may not be much of intellectual property to start with, but over a long period of time, over a 15-year period, building a business with very little capital. My estimate is probably they haven't even spent more than 200 crores, excluding the recent fundraisers, to build a company and take it public. It's an amazing thing, considering that this is not a college project. This is real large company project. You need electronics, you need control system, you need material science. Finally, you need the thing to fly. The standards are high. You need to build a global product. Building a global product, making it happen just out of, passion, commitment. That's what I am really, really impressed with IdeaForge. Obviously, great set of people on the investor side, on the founding management side, and the rest of the employees as well. I don't want to make this long, but when I look at it, I see four things. I think Nick talked about commitment, content in terms of technology, IP, the creativity to really build a long business, and the culture. Culture of no hierarchy, no feudal behavior between the founders and the lesser mortals. So these four things, the commitment to really build a long, standing business, a business that can be here for 100 years, a content in terms of investing in technology, building the IP, the creativity to build the business together. It is not easy, right? You're actually breaking ground in many ways. And obviously, hopefully the culture will continue and we will grow to be a great company. Just want to spend a minute on drones itself, right? Actually, we are at a very, very fortunate stage where, there's a lot of things going for the industry. First of all, there is a deep tech, hardware kind of ecosystem finally kind of evolving in India. Number two, there is no better industry which, starting from the Prime Minister, kind of very focused both through policies and actions and customer engagement. There is a lot of that government is supporting this business. And obviously because of national security prerogatives, we have a kind of a market that we have to build and grow, right? So I think it is two things. One, obviously it's a great opportunity. It is also a great responsibility for you people, right? Because the future of drone, I'm sure there are a lot of drone companies, but being the dominant leader, it's also a responsibility to build the industry to the next level, not only in India, but as a global kind of a platform and an opportunity. I also want to just thank everybody. I know obviously management and the investors we have talked about, but all the other players who participated here. Obviously JM and IIFL have been a terrific help. Really been on the ball on all aspects. I've never seen a better execution than this on all fronts. Obviously the councils, both Sam led by Santhan and KCO led by Gautam and their teams. Obviously Concept has been a big partner for this in terms of orchestrating our marketing and the registrars Lincoln Time. So this has been an exceptional kind of a participation by a lot of people to make an IPO event. I don't think I've seen a better kind of orchestration of everything, and then finally it all coming together and kind of coming to subscription. Obviously price and market, all that will decide what happens, but at the execution level, getting the type of quality anchor investors, institutional investors, getting a really high retail following, like 89 times, it's unusual, right? So I think this is a job really, really well done. And let me stop there with one line. If an idea can change our life, let that idea be IdeaForge.
Thank you so much, sir. Srimati Sujata Vemuri from WFA Global Investments. Ma'am, we are eager to listen to you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. It is a great pleasure and an honor to be here today on this momentous milestone for IdeaForge. As the first angel investor in the company, Ravi Bhagavatala, who couldn't be here today, and I congratulate this incredible team of innovators, Ankit, Ashish, Vipul, Rahul, and the entire IdeaForge team who have contributed to us being here today. And what an amazing journey it's been. From our very first meeting, all the way back in 2007, in the conference room at Sign in IIT Bombay, where these guys were just freshers who just graduated, we knew that this group was something special, and it looks like all of you agree with me. So they've always had a growth mindset, working collaboratively and always leveraging each of their diverse but complementary skills to focus on creating value. Right from the start, the team has been very ambitious and clear about their vision for their company, integrating the Z-axis, like we put it. Setting strategic goals, being nimble, and making decisions, and a lot of times hard decisions that support the long-term goals of the company. These guys have done it over and over again over the years. So we are so excited to see IdeaForge continually push the limits of innovation to become a globally ranked drone company, and we look forward to a continuation of this trajectory. So as you embark on this journey, as a listed company, and as we've done over the years, we have a little nugget for you. Markets will fluctuate. That's what they do. Stay focused and do what you do best: ideation, innovation, and execution. So Ravi and I are privileged to be a part of this story, and we are super excited with everything that you're going to do. We're confident that you're going to continue to surprise us like you've done over the past 15 years, and your shareholders, and we congratulate you and we wish you the very best.
Thank you, ma'am. Poini Bhatt, Chief Executive Officer, Sign IIT Bombay.
Well, this is podium made keeping in mind Ankit and others. You needed to have a baby podium for me at least. Yeah? But very good morning to all of you. Indeed, very privileged to be here. And congratulations, the founder team, Ankit, Vipul, Ashish, Rahul, all the employees of IdeaForge, its supporter investors all together, and of course family members. And big congratulations to IIT Bombay, and of course to Sign. Yeah? So, for any entrepreneur or any investor, IPO and listing is a very, very big milestone. I represent a business incubator where IdeaForge started their first venture, or this is the venture, first journey. Yeah? And we see many more failures than the following investors. So having a listed company in our portfolio, I think what an achievement that you guys have extended to us. Thank you very much. Yeah. Our pride multiplies especially when IdeaForge remains the first ever company to have come out for an IPO from any incubator in the country. So big, big congratulations. Yeah. Having said this, when I think of IdeaForge, I recall 3 young graduates with hair of this length, easily comparable with length of my short hair that time. Yeah, walking in Sign with a kind of attitude. Dunya badalna hai. We are going to change the world. Yeah, we are going to impact the world. Yeah, the team. And I think you are going to hear a lot about the team, because I think we all have basically put our, risk or eggs in this one basket because of the team. Yeah. So this is the team that belonged to a very, very different breed, who did not opt for any charted path, which was like going outside India, pursuing other careers, or going for any non-core or non-engineering jobs for a larger money. Instead, they chose very, very arduous journey of building a hardware company in a time when ecosystem for Startup India was really at a primitive stage, let alone about the product-based ecosystem. Yeah, the market or segment that they chose was very different. It was a different product. Ankit or Ashish, I remember that was a handheld cranking device, and I hope that you have a couple of them in your museum. Yeah, but that was the first market, and then pivot happens. The market is even more difficult to crack. Defense and government, definitely not easy market to crack. You have your own low phases, but the values and the commitment that you had, quite a journey, right? Like being a idealistic student, almost shaping a drone industry in the country, and now an IPO. Yeah, so big kudos to you, and I feel so privileged that we are walking along with you. Yeah. Finally, as I always say, that you guys do our work and we get the credits. So I keep on getting so many congratulatory messages and calls, and my standard reply is that thank you very much, but they are a great team, and we stop there. Yeah. Interestingly, just like 2 days back, one of our own currently incubated founder, she wrote me back, Poini, when you say they are a great team, what do you mean by that? And yeah, it's quite an impressive list. Yeah. So Nick mentioned, right, commitment, complementary team, very competent team, and the team that see a shared vision. More than that, their ability to sail through very hard time without losing a stakeholder. Not a mean achievement here. Yeah, quite an achievement here. Their ability to surround the company with the stakeholders who all are here, surround the company with the stakeholders whose sheer association with the company, yeah, enhance confidence and faith in the company. And last but not the least is their humility in all situations with all. So congratulations once again, and more power to you as you go along. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and we are eagerly looking forward to listening to Ankit Mehta and Ashish Bhatt. But then we have to also strike the bell at 10 o'clock. Before that, we will be presenting a couple of mementos. I would request Sri Ram Krishnan, Chief Business Development Officer, NSE, to kindly step up on stage to present a memento as a congratulatory gesture to Sri Ankit Mehta. And now, Sri Ankit Mehta, Chief Executive Officer, IdeaForge Technology Limited, will present a memento to Sri Ram Krishnan, CBO, NSE, in reciprocation. I request both of you to kindly remain on the stage as the momentous time for which we all are eagerly waiting is fast approaching. I would request Rahul, Vipul, Ashish, Vishal, Nicholas, Ganapati, Matthew, Sujata, Varsha, Sham, Venkat, Poini, and Meghana to kindly join us for the ringing of the bell. So the ringing of the bell, ladies and gentlemen, will mark the official listing of IdeaForge Technology Limited. Join me in cheering when the customary 10-second countdown will begin. We all will put our hands together as the timer will strike 10 o'clock. जब 10 को 10 सेकंड बाकी होंगे, आप सभी मेरे साथ काउंटडाउन की गिनती में शामिल हो जाइएगा. तालियों की गूंज के साथ हम उस पल को सजाएंगे. It will truly be an honor to be introduced and welcomed on this corporate ladder. So yes, we are almost half a minute away from 10 o'clock, all in readiness. All excited? Let me hear that loud. Barely 15 seconds to go. There we are. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So heartiest congratulations to the management, investors, stakeholders of IdeaForge Technology Limited on the official listing. ढेर सारी बधाई और हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं. So moments to be treasured in the form of photographs. यादगार पल हम सभी के लिए कैद हो रहे हैं फोटोग्राफ्स के रूप में. Yes, thank you. So we have a few more speeches to go and a couple of more mementos to be given thereafter. So once everybody is settled, we will continue with our program. Remain seated, everybody, please. Please remain seated. And now is the time to hear what Shri Ankit Mehta, Chief Executive Officer, Yes, over to Ankit, please.
As I step up to speak today, I think first of all, I think I should say that what was said here prior to me coming here, it is deeply, deeply humbling for us, and we thank each and every one of you for recognizing the effort that it has taken over the last 16 years to live this journey, 17 years since I actually quit my job of 6 months so that we could actually bunch together up as a team. And perhaps 18 years since we first, 18 or 19 years since we first conceived that we want to make a drone, and we actually built a small quadcopter drone of the support of our alma mater, IIT Bombay. So I'm deeply, deeply thankful for all the words that were said here before I came, and all the words that are perhaps unsaid yet, in recognizing that it takes a lot of effort to build a market in India of something like this. We are super thrilled, and we were so excited to see the response that our listing got, and the blessing that it has received from the market. At IdeaForge, we consider all our blessings as privileges that we have to build upon and we have to deliver on. And I think as a team, that is one thing that has kept us going over the years. And we have received a large number of those privileges in our lives. If I were to start at the very beginning, then our parents, our families, who pushed us to study but never stopped us from playing. It was so important for us in our lives to have that flexibility, that freedom, that luxury. To have parents who taught us that it is not your station today that will determine the impact you will create in the future. Parents who taught us to live with dignity in whatever our circumstances may be. Parents who gave us the gift of hope by sharing stories of real life heroes who have come through so much lack of resources, who have come through so much challenges in their lives, but have still created a life worthy of note. Parents who let us live our dreams and never compared us against our peers, whatever we might be doing for these many years. To our alma mater, IIT Bombay, for at least the three of us, I cannot measure the contribution that IIT Bombay has made in supporting our ideas and our learning. We did not spend a single penny from our pocket to prototype the dozens of projects that we have probably executed when we were still students there. An institution that was able to lift the roof away on our ambition. An institution that taught us that we can achieve anything technically and in business if we have the grit to pursue our goals. To get the support of the government of India for innovating, to get that kind of resources when we had none. We are first generation entrepreneurs. We had no resources to spend any money of our own, and to get that support is phenomenal for a young entrepreneur who has only dreams in their eyes and nothing else. To be incubated at the OGs of incubation in our country, at SINE at IIT Bombay and subsequently at CIIE. To have kind-hearted mentors like Professor Amarnath, Poini ma'am, and many others who have come and supported us in our journey over these many, many years. privilege also to have customers who believed that our technology and the promise of that technology had the ability to deliver. Customers who let us in their operations, in their workflow, to help them integrate this new technology in their mix, in their daily lives. To have the privilege of investors who were always a part of the solution to our challenges. They were never our challenge. And they had the patience to bear with us and our leadership to build and create value unhindered from the distraction of what a particular moment in time may mean.